actual pitching or development aspect, and we're going to get into that a little bit. But I'd like to know what are some of when it comes to the teaching process, what are some of the misconceptions that are out, that maybe possibly, you might coaches are doing wrong. Let's just face the facts. We're not all perfect. We're doing some things that are wrong. What are some of those misconceptions, Randy?
I'm gonna have Randy start with that. No, I'm gonna have Randy start with that because he and I were just talking about the other day about queuing and about how people. He has this incredible summit, the Motor Skills Acquisition Summit, in which he brings in the best people from all over the world and talks about it. He's had somebody from Australia, he's had from the Netherlands, and they actually talk about that, and it's fascinating. Randy and I are fascinated on how people learn. And if you're ever at the Florida Baseball Ranch or the Texas Baseball Ranch and you watch us work, it is definitely different than the standard baseball fair. It's just different, and a lot of people would kind of be maybe stunned that there isn't a lot of verbal demands and overreach. So Randy, you want to kind of talk to that?
Sure, sure. Well, one thing I've learned in the study of motor learning science is that the body isn't interested very much in what the coach has to say. Franz Bosch said that the first day
Yes.
I heard him talk, and it shows little interest in what the coach has to say. The body wants to survive and thrive. It wants to keep itself safe, and it wants to accomplish important goals. And what it's interested in doing is resisting shear forces or jerky motions that put connective tissue at risk. It hates extremes of motion. It doesn't like to be in extreme positions where the anatomy isn't stable, isn't in a sound place. And the body is also not interested in burning a lot of calories thinking about how it wants to perform a task. It wants general information that it can use across the board in several different situations so it can remain adaptable and survive and thrive. And very little of that has to do with what the coach has to say. There are occasions where verbal cues can be helpful. Ron and I talked about this, and I actually learned this at the SFMA course from Greg Rose, who does that on-base shoot thing. And